Hello, my lovelies. Hopefully you're back from my previous video to see part 2 of my stash. So what I've got laid out here now on the table are some more of my tools, as you may call them. I wanted to do a video at the beginning of the month for these items, and I totally forgot all about it, but they are what is called the Tunisian hooks. And if you are participating in Things We're Making Thursday for the month of April, we are doing Tunisian crochet. So there's a few different styles of Tunisian hooks. There is, I think people call this one pretty much the standard Tunisian hook. You got your hook on one end, it's hard as like a crochet hook, and then you got your stopper at the other end. So more or less the width of your project has got to be able to fit on said crochet hook. Then I have another one here that's a little longer. And if you look, there's a hook on that end. But if you go all the way down to the other end, there's a hook on this end. And you're sitting there thinking, okay, Tammy, that's a double-ended crochet hook. And you would be correct. Now, what it's for, I can't remember the name of the crocheting style. But that hook that I just showed you, I made this hat with. And as you can see on this part here, it's mainly gray with blue undertone, and it goes all the way down. And then on the inside, it's mainly blue with the gray undertone, and it goes all the way up. So I think it's called, it was like right there, I just lost it. Tarja Knitting or Tarzan Crocheting, I think, is something along the name of it. But it's more or less if you want to make a project that, depending on which side's showing, like I said, like you got the gray with the blue undertones, or you got the blue with the gray undertone, as to make it kind of look 3D, I guess. So I used that hook for it. But if you want to make a bigger project using that same style of crocheting, which is a Tunisian crocheting, then I have this one that's a double-ended, but it also has a cord on it that's attached. So it's much longer than this silver needle here. Then if you're just doing regular Tunisian crocheting, but you want different lengths of cords, but it only goes one direction, then I have this kit, which is the same kit I'm using for my Things We're Making Thursday shawl I'm making. But I've got the hooks, and my finger, I'm so sorry. I will pull one out. And as you see here at the end, like you got your regular crochet hook here, and they are bamboo, they're very light, and at the other end it's metal. And what you do with it, if you're using it as a regular crochet hook, which you can easily do with these, then you take these little stoppers, and they will screw, like they're a little wood stopper, and they screw in, you gotta screw them in the end of your crochet hook, or you could take whichever size cord you want to use, screw one end into the hook and the other end into the stopper, which will give you more or less a version of this, other than it's only one crochet hook instead of two. So those are some of my Tunisian crochet hooks I have. And we're just going to kind of move these off to the side. I'll clean them up afterwards. Then I have this device. And it's to make... It's for crocheting, I know that much, and you kind of work around both bars, and you kind of crochet here in the middle. It makes kind of lacy work. I do know I've used it once years ago. I don't remember what for. I'd have to go through my photo albums. If I could find said project I used that on, or patterns that you would use this tool for, I will share it in the comment section of this video, because it's kind of a unique tool and very fidgety to get used to, but it can be done. So that's, I believe, it for all my crocheting tools. Then we're going to go to knitting needles. I have the standard, now this container I got from the dollar store, there was a lid on it. I cut it out because it wouldn't fit on it because some of my knit needles are too tall. I'm going to turn you guys this way, actually, I think, to see how that video looks from this point of view. But anyways, this is just a cardboard type container that you normally buy from a dollar store. Obviously, it's Christmas themed because that's when I bought it. For if you say you're giving a bottle of wine to someone as a Christmas gift or wedding gift or birthday gift or graduation gift or, whatever type of gift. I prefer to make an actual crochet bag for said wine bottles. And if you want to see a couple I've made, if you go back to my Things You're Making Thursday bag videos, there is one video I do have up that has a few pictures in the comments of said bags. But these are just your standard, straight or knitting needles. There's nothing. Oh man, I was in frame. Now we're gonna go back this way, people. I'm sorry. Trying to figure out what works best for me. These are just straight knitting needles. I have all different sizes. These ones here are plastic. These are pretty sturdy. Oh no, they're kind of flimsy, but they're good for people who are learning to crochet or knit, or they knit really tight and like death grip the needles. Those are good ones. Then I have these little dinky things. They're bamboo. I don't even think they weigh 1/4 ounce. They are so light. They are tiny. Very tiny. I could probably knit socks on those. They're tiny enough. If I was doing socks, I was going to sew them up at the end. I wouldn't want to use these. I'd be afraid of breaking them. But I don't know where they came from. I'm trying to think. I have no idea. So I've got the straight typical needles. Then I have the other more, as I like to call them, my specialty needles. These are, once you normally learn to knit on your straight needles when you're first learning. Then you can get what are called DPNs. And they'll either come in a pack of 4 or a pack of 5. And they're double pointed knitting needles. These are all one size, by the way. That's why they're together like that. And I got a few different sizes of those. Then again, I got another gauge measuring tool and to measure said size of knitting needles. And then I got a bunch of circular knit needles. Now, usually when I knit something, I prefer using my circulars just because then I find it's easier just to set it down. You can kind of move your work into the center of your like the cord here. And I find when I'm working on it, the ends of a straight knit needle's not hitting the table. And that is so annoying to me when I hear the clinking all the time of that. So I very rarely use my straight needles. I way more prefer my circulars. I got a bunch of different sizes in there. They're not neat or anything. And old can of powdered juice from my son from many years ago. So now I'm going to get up and take you guys on a walk over to there and kind of show you the cupboard. Well, I could talk a little bit from here. On the top of the cupboard in that yellow box, which those boxes are great. I have a few of them set up in my apartment for different things. But that one's holding all my pattern books. And in that 3-inch thick binder is holding all my printed out patterns I have there. I got sleeves and I put all my printed patterns in them. They work great. And then on the side of it, there's a big hook in there that my husband put there for me. And on the hook is a loom box kit that I won. It's got 4 different size looms for making hats. And then in behind it are 2 foam pads. Where I got them, when I got them, I could not tell you. The reason I got them, though, was for blocking my squares and stuff on, like my granny squares. I was going to take some of my DPNs and stick them in said foam and put my squares on it. Never did it. I know you can get those same foam blocks in at least my local Walmart in the garden section because they're meant for actually kneeling down on when you're gardening. Anyhow, so now I'm going to take you over so I can open up the cupboard and show you what's all in my stash over here. And I don't know what's like, and I haven't been in the cupboard in a while, so it could be a mess, and if it is, I'm so sorry. So, as you see, I got a little Halloween decoration hanging here. My son hung up there a few years ago, and there's where it sat. And then some Christmas bells that my husband got one year from a young lady from China that they'd sponsored the one year when she was doing an exchange. So this cabinet normally you would use in your bathroom, top of your toilet. We'll actually start here in the shelf. So this container here is my lovely button container. Nothing special. It's a container I got from Dollar Store. Now the buttons, there's actually 2 pretty good sized bags of buttons in there that I got from Walmart for $3.97 Canadian each. The one bag was all kinds of funky bright colors, all different sizes and styles. The other one's more greens and darker colors because I used to use buttons for my amigurumi eyes. I know, not a good idea if you're giving it to a young child. Believe me, they were sewed on really well. Unfortunately, you can't get the buttons like that anymore, which kind of sucks. Then on this side, it's an herb book, some shampoo or soap that I won years ago for washing your handmade items. Then this little box here, my mom made for me many years ago, and it's done with the plastic canvas and yarn. And in it, it's got some sewing needles. Inside, I got some pins for if you're pinning something together. All kinds of thread. Some little snips. Nothing special in there. So that was all that was in that little box. But I don't sew much, but I do keep it up here so that I know where it is if I do need to sew. So now, inside the cupboard. No, okay, good. Nothing's going to come down falling on me, I don't think. So, we'll start at the top left. As you can see, it looks like a lot of fabric up there, which yes, it is. But what they are is the casings off of pillows I've bought in the past to use the stuffing out of for my amigurumis. And then I use the casings to line bags with. And this is supposed to be actually down here, so we're going to move that now. Then I have 2 different kits to make I-cords with. I haven't really worked with it at all. Then in this, here is a little diamond painting I'd won recently for a bookmark, which is, I haven't started yet, but I'm waiting and will be excited to do it. And then I have this box that is full of fun little crochet kits. I'd like to go through it again to see what's all in there. And then that little black bowl, believe it or not, it's Canadian pennies that are no longer any good. Why they're sitting up there, I don't know, but that's where they are. Then on this shelf, I have, oh boy, a mess. I have some recipe cards. Why they're in here, I don't know. That's just where they stuck them. Like I got them in a prize, that's why. Some little bookmarks that you can color. Then I have some just writing notebooks. I have a yarn spoler my husband found for me at a local yarn shop called Lens Mills. Wasn't that expensive, clips to my kitchen table. I sit there and crank out different cakes while I'm watching YouTube videos. I have some spare tape. I have a container here that has stitch markers or counter, I guess it'd be stitch markers for knitting and crochet. Like I said, my spare some scotch tape. I have, oh boy, what do I all have out here? That is a roll of magnet, because somewhere in this apartment I have a board that's metal, and it's got a pattern on it, and a project that I started, I don't know when, and I have no idea where it is, but the magnet's to move it down so it's easy to find where you are in your pattern. Then I have a bag of rubber bands, a bag of different beads. I got actually a couple bags in here of beads. Some little wire that I originally bought for a brim of a hat, but it didn't work too well. Some push pins. I've got some Christmas bells that I've used on different projects. My safety eyes that I did finally go out and buy for my amigurumis. And an empty hard container from my Ferrero Rochers one year for Christmas from my husband. I don't know, I will put something in it, I just haven't yet. It's just a really good kit. So that's more or less my stash, my supplies. Hope you guys enjoyed. I don't have much more to show you. So I'd love to see your guys' stash. So if you are a content creator, hey, put out a video that I'm challenging every one of you. If you've watched either one of my 2 videos, preferably this one, because I didn't mention it in my first one, put out a video of showing us your stash. Oh, by the way, I'm turning you slowly, I hope, I got that bin there that I said had my worsted weight yarn in it. And we'll keep turning. Then I have 2 bins over here. The black bin has my weird fancy yarn in it. Well, with the green lid. And what I mean by that, it's got my eyelash yarn, my sachet yarn, stuff like that. The green bin on the floor, it has more worsted weight yarn in it, and like baby yarn and things like that. So yes, that's my stash. I would, like I said, love to see yours. I am challenging you, every single one of you out there who are a YouTube content creator, show us your stash. Let's see your yarn. Let's see the room you keep it in. Let's see your tools. Come on, put all your dirty laundry out there. I dare every single one of yous. And if you do it, put the dare out there for more people. Let's do it, people. Have a great night, and we'll see you all soon. Bye for now.